Good day to all. This is Marcel. I'm standing here in the Beermore Lounge. Behind me is a portrait of J.W. Beermore. He was the master of the hunt from 1893 to 1931. A really cool story that was passed on by my predecessor, Rudy Prokop. Some of you remember him. He told me a really cool story when the club was in deficit at the end of the year. There was no assessments. This great man behind me paid every cent of the deficit. So today, really, the Toronto Hunt exists in great part because this man, for all those years, paid the money. So thank you. Things are looking bright and good around the world. Some places are opening slowly, and hopefully, sooner than later, we'll be able to open this beautiful country of Canada again. On that note, I thought I shared one of Louis Armstrong's greatest songs, What a Wonderful World. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I say to Marcel, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I say to Marcel, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know. And then I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Then I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Today's class or little wine preview is on Syrah. We're moving from the Beermore Lounge, and now we're going to settle here in the Fox Lounge. Hopefully we can see, let's see, maybe right there, it's even better. And we're just going to pull this back a little. Lovely. So, qu'est Syrah? Syrah is actually a Rhone varietal. It originated in the Rhone Valley and brought to the rest of the world back in the 1800s, maybe even sooner than that. But the Rhone Valley is king for Syrah. Syrah grows really well in the north of the Rhone Valley. On the south of the Rhone Valley, it's another varietal that is called Grenache. Now, there are so many varietals in the region that it's almost an art, and it's truly an art to put a wine together, because they blend Cinsault, Carignan, Ugni Blanc as a white, Grenache, Mourvedre, Cinsault. There are so many varietals there that it's almost chemistry putting a wine together because there's so many choices. It is defined by the best that the north, again, north of the valley, so north of Châteauneuf-du-Pape, technically all those wines are mostly Syrah, and Syrah is best. So this is where we're going to focus on. Just a little note, some of you love Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Well, Châteauneuf-du-Pape could be made from up to 13 different varietals, including Syrah. But we're going to stick to the north, and we'll have 3 wines that represent the north of the Rhone Valley really, really well. Starting with this lovely wine from Colombo, and it is the sub-region of Cornas. Following that wine, we have a lovely wine, one of my favorite in the region because of value, is the Cross Hermitage region. And finally, we end up here with the probably best of the best, which is Corroti. That is way at the top of the valley, and that's where probably the best wines made out of Syrah come from. The slopes are so steep that I don't understand. When I was there, I couldn't understand why the Romans would actually decide to plant in those steep hills because it's so difficult. But they understood that the soils were best at the top. Syrah is brought to the rest of the world, like I said, in the 1800s or even before. And one of the regions that have thrived and done really well, especially with really good winemakers, is California. And this is a really top producer, David Remy, who started making wine at a little winery called Chateau Petrus, and moved on to the Burgundy region, made wines there with Joseph Drouin, and then moved to the Rhone Valley and made wines with some of the top winemakers and learned how to make not only great Burgundy style wines, or Bordeaux style wines, but also Rhone style wines. Superb wine. Of course, as the varietal was brought to the New World, in Australia, they had difficulty with the S, the Y, the R, the A, and the H. So they changed the name to simply Shiraz. And it is technically the same clone of Vitis vinifera, but with a different name. And of course, in the New World, especially in Australia, the wine is very different. So it's a very different style of the original clone. So very simple, Syrah has become a style, and Shiraz has become a style all over the world. Syrah being more earthy tones, being more gamey, and with lots of complexity, versus the New World Shiraz, which basically is a wine that is more fruit forward, a wine that is got more vibrant characteristics and spiciness, which makes the wine really good to pair with food. I hope to see you soon. Remember my Zoom wine class this coming Thursday. This coming Thursday will be on the lovely region of Veneto. Thank you again to all those that are supporting our wine sale. It is going extremely well. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you all soon back in this beautiful club. Ciao.